This is Book 1 of Wednesday and Woof, Catastrophe by Sherry Winston. Here's all the chapters. We'll read chapters 1 and 2. And here we go. Tips for being a good detective. Observe. Pay close attention. Everything could be a clue. Second bullet. Assess the situation. Try to understand what is going on. Third bullet. Ask questions. What happened? When? Who was hurt or in trouble? Are there witnesses? Fourth bullet. Try not to jump to conclusions. Fifth bullet. Use your instincts. Trust your gut. So we're on to chapter 1, looking for trouble. Hey, Woof, do you see what I see? Woof, answered my dog, wagging his tail. I look out from our boat office. It used to be a boating boat till Grandpa retired and bought a new fishing boat. Now it sits in our backyard where me and Woof get to use it as our headquarters. We're detectives. The Wednesday and Woof Detective Agency at your service. My name is Wednesday Walia Nadir. My family calls me Walia, but I go by Wednesday when I'm on the job. Wednesday has always been my lucky day. I brought Woof home on a Wednesday. I've got my binoculars glued to my eyeballs. Woof is standing at alert, taking long, deep breaths, sniffing out people in trouble. Wednesday and Woof Detective Agency. Look, Woof, I pointed to 3 boys from my school who are walking across the street from my house. Older boys, maybe even 4th grade. They don't live around here. Woof draws in another big whiff of air and puff, puff, puff blows it out. You see it too? Right, Woof? He nods, his body rigid and on high alert. Using skills learned from the Big Book of Detective Tips, I observe the boys. First bullet, they're looking over their shoulders. Second bullet, they seem fidgety. Third bullet, something in my gut, that feeling you get deep down in your stomach, is telling me to keep an eye on those 3. I write my observations down in my detective notebook in case they become important. Being observant is just one of the skills detectives need. We need to be able to gather information too. Woof, let's get closer to the boys and look for more clues. Woo, he says, agreeing with me. I slipped the honorary badge Aunt Nalia gave me into my pocket. She's a detective right here in Blossom County, Michigan. For now, I'm just in charge of my neighborhood, Blossom Heights. Next, I stuffed the pocket of Woof's support vest with the detective supplies we may need: a magnifying glass, the map I drew of our neighborhood, my notepad, and a pencil. I place Woof's special support dog vest on him and secure it. His vest lets people know that he's working so they don't bother him. Stealthily, Woof and I tiptoe down the steps that were built specially for me with wider steps and solid railings. There they go. Daddy is in the yard filling the bird feeder. Blossom Lake is behind our behind our house. It's so beautiful. I love how the little waves lap against the boat ramp. Thanks to the lake, our backyard has more birds and shade trees than the park. It's all very soothing, unless you're on the hunt for mysteries to solve. Woof and I creep closer. Woof gives me a look. I nod. You're right, Woof. We need to take cover. I scoot over to a large French lilac bush that edges our side yard. We peer between the leaves. I can see Mrs. Winter's house across the street. The boys are on the sidewalk. Get Ollie, I hear the thin boy say. The one in the hat adds, gnarly. Ollie is like the dude. I'm in as long as we don't get caught. Don't get caught. That sounds like a clue. The boys are definitely up to something. Well, we'll see about that. Do you know who this Ollie is, Woof? I asked. Is he from the neighborhood? I check in with my gut. It's telling me those boys are up to no good, but my detective book also says not to jump to conclusions. Being a detective is hard work. I want to rush over and demand they tell me what they're up to when a shriek pierces the calm morning and jangles my nerve. A cry for help. Someone needs us right now. You've read one chapter. That's over 700 words. Chapter 2, When Danger Calls. Well, Leah and Woof, I need you. Our neighbor, Mrs. Winters, is running toward us. It's Autumn. She's run away, and if we don't find her soon, she and I will miss our vacation. Oh, she says in her sing-songy voice. Woof wrinkles his brow and steps back. Our neighbor lady can be a little loud. Woof, I whisper, it's a real mystery, and a serious one, too. Autumn is a sweet little indoor kitty who belongs to Grandpa, but Mrs. Winter takes care of her now. Mrs. Winter sings, Wednesday. She is a very fancy lady with glossy hair that's high and tall, lips shiny and pink, clothes that sparkle and shine, and she sings a lot. Not regular songs. Her songs are Italian. She calls them special singing opera. Me and Woof call it loud. Woof looks like he wants to cover his ears. My mind races. I need to ask questions, come up with a plan for this investigation. If Autumn is out here, we'll find her. Just then, Daddy comes over carrying a tray of flowers. He says, Good morning, Mrs. Winters. Is there a problem? Uh-oh, my parents are very protective because I have something called juvenile arthritis. If he thinks the mission is too much for me, it could be a whole other kind of trouble. I hold my breath, waiting, but I don't want to be calm. I want to take off. Woof nudges me, reminding me to be cool. I take a deep breath and explain what's going on, why me and Woof have to find Autumn. I leave out my suspicions about the strange big kids. I don't want Mrs. Winters to sing any songs of despair. Daddy kneels and sets a tray of brightly colored pansies on the grass beside me. Shadows from all the trees dance across his face. He places his other hand on my shoulder. Well, Leah, I think it's great that you want to help, but... No, not the big but. I hate the big but. Whenever the grown-ups want to stop you from doing something, they pretend to listen, and then they hit you with the big but. I'll be fine, Daddy, really. I've got Woof to help me, I say, wide smile. Puppy dog eyes, mine and Woof's. Most grown-ups would melt at this show of utter sincerity, but my daddy shakes his head. Uh-oh. Well, Leah Nadir, you know you have to respect your body. What if you get another fever? Remember how tired you were and how much pain you were in? And it's only been a few months since we've gotten your symptoms under control. Juvenile arthritis, JA, can cause, first bullet, achy joints and muscles. Second bullet, stiffness, especially first thing in the morning. Third bullet, fever. Fourth bullet, tiredness. Fifth bullet, sometimes a rash. But Daddy, what's the point of being healthy and safe if I get bored to death? He sighs, a very daddy thing to do. Grandpa never treats me like a sick person. He always tells me, you can be anything you want, Willia, no matter the challenges. I like that, and it's true. I'm not going to let a challenge like J.A. get the best of me. Daddy, I place my hand on his shoulder. I won't overdo it, promise. Please, may I go now and find sweet, precious, helpless little Autumn? Daddy laughs and shakes his head at me. Look at her little puppy dog eyes. Just make sure being on the case doesn't wear you out. Woof has been trained as a support dog. Lean on him when you need to. Wednesday, Mrs. Winter sings. Even though her singing hurts my ears, an idea hits me with a wallop. I gasp. Woof tilts his head toward me while Daddy is still fussing. I whisper, I have an idea. And that's the end of chapter 2. The name of the third chapter is Which Way Did She Go? So she's on the case of the missing kitty. You may want to read more of Wednesday and Woof. Book 2 is New Pup on the Block, and Book 3 is The Runaway Robot. She's also written many other books, President of the Whole 5th Grade, President of the Whole 6th Grade, and The Sweetest Sound. You may want to check these out at your library.